Hello and welcome. In this video actually I'm going to introduce you to how to set up a VLAN, how to create VLANs, how to create an Etherchannel bundle on the links between distribution layer switches, as you can see on the diagram here. Okay, and also we are going to talk a little bit about trunking and trunking protocol and what is trunking and native VLAN and so on. Okay, so let's walk step by step. The first actually task, we are going to actually configure those switches. So the first thing is to put those switches into disable VTP on them. So actually to disable VTP is simply you put it in a transparent mode. So there are three modes of VTP. There is a server mode, which is actually can update, delete VLANs, and the switch, if it's in the server mode, can actually update itself, okay, from other clients and other transparent switches. Client mode, actually you cannot add or delete VLANs on the client mode, but actually the client mode can update itself to the latest revision number. We'll talk about the revision number after a while. Okay. In the transparent mode, actually the switch acts like rubble. It doesn't listen to, it doesn't update itself, but it passes the VTP update to downstream switches. So first I'm gonna say VTP mode, okay, transparent. There we go. And to check out the status of the VTP, you simply issue do show status. I add the do command to show VTP status. I add the do in front of show VTP because I'm in global configuration mode. I can do it also from privilege mode by issuing simply show VTP status. As you can see here, the multi-layer switch is capable of running version 1 to 3, means version 1, 2, and 3. Okay, the VTP is running version 1, as you can see right here. The pruning is disabled. The pruning concept actually is if you have VLAN 100 here and VLAN 200 here, so VLAN 200 doesn't actually leak or doesn't flow okay, on this switch. So you actually limit the traffic just to the VLAN that exists on the switches. Regarding the revision number, as you can see, whatever revision number was when I set the switch to transparent mode, actually the revision number is decremented automatically to 0, okay? And as I mentioned, the switch doesn't actually update itself, but it passes the VLAN update. I'm going to do this also on the distribution layer 2. As you can see, I'm having 2 distribution layer switches and 2 access layer switches, right? So VTP, let's say VTP mode transparent, configure it as a transparent, and also I'm going to issue the same command, okay, on the access layer switches. Need to be in global config mode and VTP mode transparent. Finally, on the access layer switch as well, it should be in global config mode and VTP mode transparent. Okay, let's make sure that it's acting as transparent switch, and of course the VTP is transparent. Why I disabled the VTP? Because actually, if I didn't disable, if I do not disable VTP actually and configure the server with the domain name, all the switches, they will establish or they will negotiate actually the VTP connection between them through the trunk links, okay, and get whatever domain they have, okay. So the second task, actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to configure trunk links between the distribution layer switches and the access layer switches. Okay, and to configure distribution layer switches, okay, with a VLAN, simply VLAN and then VLAN. What VLAN I want to configure on the access on the distribution layer switch number 2, VLAN 200 and exit. You could give it name, okay. So VLAN, name it whatever you like. I'm going to skip that, okay. And I'm going to go to the distribution layer switch number. Okay, I think I misconfigured the VLAN. Yeah, that's correct. I configured the wrong. Yeah, this is the access layer number 2. So I need to go to distribution layer 2 and configure VLAN 200. Okay, I'm gonna set up VLAN 100. VLAN 100 on the on this side right here on distribution layer switch and the access layer switch as well. So VLAN 100, and to make sure that VLAN actually is created, we issue the command show VLAN brief. Okay, could also issue the command do show VLAN. Okay, it gives you more information. So if you want to actually briefly check if the VLAN does exist, you can issue show VLAN brief, which is handy command. After creating VLANs, okay, so VLAN 100 actually exists on this side right here, okay, of the connection, and VLAN 200 on the distribution layer and access layer right here. So the second task is we're going to configure the trunk links between the distribution and the access layer switches. So I'm going to go under the interface gig 02, which is connected to the access layer, and I'm going to issue the command switch port, okay, to make it operate in the data link layer as a switch port. Switch port trunk and specify the encapsulation. I'm going to use .1q. As you may know, there are two trunking protocols, .1q and ISL. So ISL is deprecated because the ISL header have a lot of junk, and the 800 .1q, it's open standard, and it's actually the most implemented trunking protocol nowadays. So and then trunk switch port mode trunk. Okay, if we want to actually disable the DTP or dynamic trunking protocol, I'm gonna say switch port no negotiate. So I'm going to disable DTP, which is actually sent between switches to establish the trunking protocol. I'm going to actually show run interface gig 0/2. Okay, and as you can see, first thing we do switch trunk encapsulation .1q, switch port mode trunk, switch port non negotiate, and as you can see the switch port is shut down. Let's bring it up with a no shut. Okay, and I want to copy the all this configuration right here, copy, and I'm going to paste it into the other switches, paste. Okay, so on ASL 1 paste, and on this guy as well. So do show show interface trunk to check the do show interface trunk. I need probably to do show IP interface brief. I need to bring the interface up, or show IP interface brief because I'm in privilege mode. So as you can see, the gig Ethernet is still down, so I need to bring it up. Config mode interface gig 0/2 and no shut right there. Okay, I'm going to do that on the other switches as well. Interface gig 0/2 and bring the interface up, and finally on the access layer switch interface gig 0/2 and no shut to bring the interface up. Okay, now if I would issue show interface trunk, it will show me that the gigabit 02 is set to trunk, so the mode is on, means trunking is on. The encapsulation protocol, I'm using 802.1q for trunking, and status is actually trunking. Regarding native VLAN, it says 1 right here, which is native VLAN 1. Native VLAN by default is 1 on all switches. You can actually change it by actually creating a VLAN, for example VLAN 99, and then set both sides, okay, of the trunk to the same native VLAN. If you don't do that, you would have a connection problem, and you would probably see the login message come in saying native VLAN mismatch and native VLAN mismatch. Native VLAN actually is VLAN that is not tagged. Okay, normally when the switch send VLAN over the trunk, it adds a tag, okay, and this tag actually consists of the extended VLAN ID, the VLAN number, okay, to the header and so on. Okay, so so we established the trunk between those two switches and also between those two. Let's make sure actually this trunk is working and fine. So let's check the trunk link by issuing do show interface trunk. As you can see, the trunk link is working and operational. Next step, what I'm going to do, actually, I'm going to configure the ether channel between the distribution layer switches. Okay, to configure each channel, basically, you go under the interface range, and I'm going to actually include the interface gigabit 00 and 1. And then I'm going to say no switch port. So no switch port makes the bundle or the ether channel operates at layer 3. You could give it IP addresses as we will see later on. No switch port, and then channel group. Okay, channel group 1, and the mode, actually there are 3 modes of operation regarding the ether channel. There is LACP, which is an open standard, okay, and LACP uses actually passive and active. Passive means it's actually not initiating the LACP frames or negotiation. Active is actively sending, okay, it initiates the actually LACP to become an ether channel LACP, okay. So I'm going to choose for the PEG-P, actually either we go with auto. Auto means, okay, I'm waiting to hear, okay, PEG-P frames from, or BPDUs from the other side. Desirable, I'm desired to be a trunk. So it starts or initiates actually the ether channel communication between the other end. So I'm going to go for the desirable, okay, on this side. And if you use desirable on one side, the other side need to be either auto or desirable. So auto is not going to actually negotiate an ether channel, okay. And then I'm gonna bring the interfaces up and exit. I'm gonna do the same thing on the distribution layer switch. So interface range gig 0/0 to 1. Okay, I'm gonna include both interfaces, and then no switch port on the other side as well. And then channel group 1, and the mode we can set it actually to auto. Okay, right there, and no shut. As you can see right here, let's check if we have created the ether channel. Show IP interface brief. We will see a port called port channel 1 had been created, and as you can see, the port channel is up. To verify the ether channel, we can use the command actually show ether channel summary. and actually, as you can see here, Etherchannel port group number 1 and the port PO1, port channel number 1, and then R stands for the layer 3 Etherchannel, and then U stands for in use and operational. If you see down right here, or D, capital D, means that the Etherchannel bundle is down. Okay. So since we have the interface of Etherchannel created, we can go under the channel bundle and actually set an IP address. I'm going to give it, for example, 192.168.2, and subnet mask, let's use /30, okay, with 252 in the last octet, and then bring the interface up. In the other side, as you can see, we're using /30, so I'm going to go under the other side and do the same. Okay, so interface range gig 0/0 to 1. Okay, we already actually configured Etherchannel here, so do show Etherchannel summary. And each channel is operational, so under the interface 1, I'm going to give it an IP address 192.168.0.1 and put it on the same subnet as the distribution layer switch 2, and no shutdown, of course, and exit, and do show IP interface brief, which is my favorite command. As you can see, the port channel is assigned an IP address, and it says physically app and data link protocol is app, which means everything is good. Let's actually test and ping. Let's ping the other side, 192.168.0.2, and sure enough, we can actually ping the other side. So there is communication between the distribution layer switches, and that's how to set up an Etherchannel bundle between two switches, either as layer 2 or layer 3. So for layer 2, for example, if we want to make the bundle as a trunk, we first actually create, okay, put the interface range, okay, command, and specify what interfaces we want to configure, and then switch port, okay, switch port trunk encapsulation, switch port, okay, configured as trunk, and then, okay, issue the command channel group and put it in group, and then the desired protocol that you want to use, either PEG-P or LACP, or you can go for an Etherchannel okay, mode on to establish an Etherchannel, okay, without using PEG-P or LACP. Okay, I hope that this has been informative for you, and I would like to thank you.